UltraAlgo here, and today is March 26, 2021. We are going to be doing a review of some of the trades that we did today. This is the second of a series of 4 or 5 videos that we're posting today, all the trades we did this week. So the tickers that we're going to be reviewing are stock ticker MRKR on the 3-minute chart, and on the 5-minute charts we're going to be reviewing stock tickers SBBP and ACER. And then on the 15-minute chart, we're looking at stock tickers ADT, SPRT, and SLGG. Before we jump into the charts, let's review the calls that we made. SPRT, we mentioned that it was a nice swing trade opportunity, and there was a good opportunity to short. It dropped down 25%. ODT, it was a short opportunity, dropped down 10.89%. MRKR, a short, 13.15%. SBBP, we said that it was overextended, dropped down 23%. ACER dropped down 14.61%, and SLGG, a short call, dropped down 4.6%. Now let's jump in directly into the charts. Now, one thing we want to talk about before we review the charts is that we specifically focus on calling out short opportunities, only because 95% of investors don't seem to know when to sell on time. So we're hoping to educate the public a little bit on the perspective of short sellers and how they're looking at opportunities to trade. So looking at the chart, you'll see our UltraAlgo script running, as well as some of our signals. So we have these buy and these short signals. The buy signal implies a bullish pattern. The short signal implies a bearish pattern. The ultra bear and the ultra bull, those are the market maker trades. So usually when you see one of these signals, it means that the market makers are either selling off or buying into the security. That's great because it'll show you that there's support. There's also these resistance lines that we show. This blue line on the bottom is the absolute support line. There's a green and a white line at the top, which you'll see on some of these charts, which imply the white is the most immediate resistance and the yellow is the absolute resistance line. So you usually never want to buy above the white resistance line. That's a good time to secure profits. And if it goes over the green line, again, any stage above this is really a good opportunity to secure profits and start locating shares to short, because there's a good possibility that it's going to pull back aggressively. So the first chart that we look at is on the 15-minute chart, SPRT, and you can see that it's got a history of jumping up and pulling back down aggressively. What we like to do is look back at to see if there's a pattern. And over the last 6 signals, we saw that there was a strong, buy signal that came up. There was an opportunity to trade this and secure some nice profits there. And then the same thing with the short signals. So we're really trading with the buy and the short signals here. And then what we look out for is these ultra bull signals. So when we see that, that means there's going to be a very strong momentum in the bullish perspective. So this had a very strong run. It dropped all the way from $2 straight through to almost $9.50, and then from there we saw the short signal, so we opened up a short opportunity. We actually located shares around $3, and it dropped down all the way down to $4.64 over the course of 3-4 days. For most positions, we like to close out either by the end of the day or over the next session, our short position, but sometimes we hold it a little bit longer. The next security we'll look at is ODT. Pharmaceuticals can be very tricky, but luckily this one follows a very clear pattern. Here we got the short signal just before this ultra bear. Now, why that's important is because the security ended up dropping from a price of $19 all the way down to $2.82. So really having a tool like this in place will allow you to maybe mitigate some of that risk, right, by securing profits along the way during your swing trading, as opposed to holding over long term and potentially not catching one of these movements on time. So that was a very, very aggressive movement. It reminded me of a similar stock that we saw not too long ago. I forgot the name of it, but this is very aggressive, and that's classic. That's a classic movement that you'll see in the pharmaceutical space. Next security we're going to look at is MRKR. Now here we're actually looking at over 2 time frames, because I want to show you how some of the movements that we usually look for. So on the top chart, you can actually see we're looking at the 15-minute chart, and we'll see that it's got a pattern of jumping up and pulling down. And what we saw is that it was about to touch the white resistance line. So what we did was we moved over to the 3-minute chart, and the 3-minute chart was really our indicator of when we're going to enter a short position. We obviously confirmed that the patterns were very consistent over the past. So when we got our short signal, that's when we entered the short position, and it dropped down very, very aggressively again from a price of 289 all the way down to 228. But here you can actually see it on the top chart that it hit that resistance line, the most immediate resistance line. So that's usually when you want to either secure your profits or start looking at an opportunity to open up a short position. Next ticker we're going to look at is SBBP. This one had a very sharp drop off, and if you look at the history, it's got a nasty. It usually has a nasty history of having pullbacks, right? So you'll see these ultra bull signals. It'll jump up for a matter of maybe 10-15 minutes, and then it'll pull back very aggressively. So when we saw the movements on the 21st, we saw that it wasn't going to be any different that day, and sure enough, it jumped up very aggressively and then it pulled right back down. So very easy short. It was also above the absolute resistance line and the most immediate resistance lines. So that was a very easy play to make. Next ticker was ACER. ACER, and same story. We look at those patterns with the short and the buy signals. Very easy to trade. When we saw that buy signal, we did not enter there. We actually used that as an opportunity to secure shares to short. So to locate them with, we like to use the broker Trade Zero, but if we can't find any on Trade Zero, we look at Interactive Brokers and Charles Schwab as well. And here you can see from our short signal, we received that at around $6.20, and it dropped all the way down to a price of $3.27. So very, very aggressive. And then we basically just waited for the next ultra bull signal, setting our alerts, so we could have another run at this. Last ticker we'll review is SLGG. Again, very consistent in terms of its movements. It does make very aggressive movements up and down over a short period of time. So this is an ideal candidate for swing trading, both on the upside and on the downside. But very, very, very volatile if you look at the day-to-day movements. This is when we made our short call, and it dropped down very, very aggressively from that point. It went from a price of $8.76 on the low, all the way down to a low of $6.40. So very, very aggressive movements down. We don't predict prices. Again, what we're basically trading on is specifically on the signals. It's really the easiest way to trade because it seems to be the most consistent. Thank you for watching the technical video. If you're interested in improving your overall trading strategy, we recommend you start a 7-day free trial with UltraAlgo. This tool is designed to help traders easily identify buy and short opportunities across securities listed on all major exchanges such as New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, OTC, CBOE. Now, it's also available for Forex and crypto trading. Start a 7-day free trial at UltraAlgo.com.